Hey, it's Domain Dave, cheapwinefighter.com, with a fun one this time. One I wasn't expecting, and one that's pretty cool, and I'm kind of happy it's not something we normally do. This is the field recordings of Freddo Paso Robles Sangiovese 2022. It is mostly Sangiovese with some Dolcetto, which is a sweet wine from a sweet grape from the Piedmont in Italy, and Vabigay, which is a red grape from the Languedoc Roussillon in eastern France. Both grapes you don't see too much in American wines, but this is a wine meant to be chilled. The label actually, and the name of the wine is Freddo, which I thought it had something to do with Freddo from The Godfather, The Weak Son. Now, Freddo is cold in Italy, and you put the wine in the freezer on ice, and it's got white lettering with a kind of a burgundy background, and when it gets cold enough, the white letters turn blue. So this is 100% made to be drank cold, which in the summertime isn't a bad thing. And I thought it was kind of a novelty wine. I thought it was going to be okay, but it turns out it's a good wine. It's not a novelty at all. It sips well. I'm going to take a sip. It drinks really well. It's kind of smooth, sleek, and focused. It's got a nice mix of flavors. The tasting notes said Jello shooters, and I went, oh, what? And I taste it, and I can taste Jello shooters in there. There's a definite Jello to that, which is one of the fun parts about it. Field recordings is a take on the field recordings audio from the 20s and 30s, where people went around and recorded, the famous ones are Robert Johnson, the old blues guy, the guy who sold his soul at the crossroads in Mississippi, but there's others. There's Native Americans' languages, and they went in Europe and did old folk things. They went out and recorded and made a document of old ways before they died out, and they're an invaluable resource, and they're online. You can find them. But Robert Johnson probably wouldn't have been known without that. And here he is, Andrew Jones, who's field recordings. And he's a vine, I guess, manager, I would call it. He has said he's been in every single vineyard on the Central Coast at some point or another. And what he used to do is he used to go out in wine country. The topography, the lay of the land and the soils are where, certain vineyards can go here, they can't go there. So he knew what to look for, and he'd find old, neglected, forgotten vineyards and bring them back to life. Because he would plant the vineyards and replant and whatever. And along the line, a lot of these vineyard owners said, hey, you want some grapes from here, this lot there. So he started making wine. And check out the Field Recordings website. It said on the label 180 barrels made, which I thought, that's not a lot until there's 300 bottles of wine to a barrel, so it did the 180 times 300, and it turns out there's a lot of wine, so you can find this thing. And they just do a lot of wines, and they're different. You don't normally find the wine they're supposed to be chilled with a label that turns blue, and it's kind of very see-through color. Maybe I think cherry Jello, maybe. Because it's chilled, and chilling things max the flavors, max the scents. Didn't have a great nose. There were some things going on there, but I couldn't get a lot out of it. That's the cold, but that's what you get. In the meantime, you get this sipper. It doesn't have. I don't notice any. I didn't notice the tannins. It was smooth, and the acidity allowed all the flavors to unfold and give everything some length. It tastes really well. It's not a sweet wine. You would think it might be, but it isn't, and it just has these really nice collection of flavors that doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted before, but it's 100% something I've had. I don't know how to describe it like that. Yeah, it's really good. I like this wine. It's the Field Recordings Freddo Paso Robles Sangiovese 2022. Freddo means cold, not Donnelly Corleone's weak son. And I like this one. This is a summer sipper. I mean, I think it lists for $25, but I found it for $16 on sale in Chicago at Vinny's. And it's a really cool wine to drink. It's not going to be anything you've had before, but it might be something you have again and again. I'm going to take another sip. We'll wrap it up because, when you like a wine, there's only so much you can say. So that's it for me. Andrew Jones, Field Recordings. Check out his other wines. He has a bunch of great wines. There's a whole section in Paso called Tin City, where all the cool kids made wine, and they're older now. It's been good 15 years since they started all these things. So it's kind of a mature area, but it's definitely cool, and the wines are wonderful. So this is Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. The Field Recordings Freddo Paso Robles Sangiovese. Keep it cheap. I'll be talking to everybody in a couple days. Bye-bye.